So, design thinking. It can be, firstly, it can be really taken as design thinking is, so to say, philosophy, which was established around 2005 by British Design Academy. And the basis for design thinking was that you will really have these crucial steps of observing users and customers, then brainstorming solutions really quickly, and then build a product to test, does it work on the market or not, and then actually hand over and help customers to do this change management in the organization. So it's not always only delivering something, it's also helping the users and customers with the change. So, as a definition, so design thinking is a human-centered, person-focused research, brainstorming, and prototyping of the products and services. So, human is in the middle here. And actually, when you're talking about, okay, design thinking, philosophy, what is the business benefit of that? You know, behind this philosophy. So the business benefit is really good way to test the hypothesis of the products before spending too much money on the market. So basically, if you can find early and cheap and fail fast early and cheap that your service is not needed to the users, that this is the best way to do. And I have seen different corporations, including also Telia, doing this thing to launch this kind of minimum viable products to get customers' feedback as early as possible, even if these products are not fully ready yet. But a little story about design thinking was Dutch bicycle producer Van Moof. Have you heard it? Van Moof, no? So Van Moof had this challenge that almost quarter, or like 25% of the bicycles which were shipped globally were broken or crashed during transport. And somebody, you can just imagine that this Dutch bicycle and some designer in China wants to give some award to himself of some good job, and then this bicycle arrives broken or something like that. And the logistics teams had to brainstorm some kind of technical solution to reduce this crash rate or breaking these bicycles. And they were thinking, and then also, luckily, designers were invited to brainstorm with the technical team of logistics how to reduce these rates. And designers said that let's try to put this bicycle in TV box, and let's see how breaking the bike's rate will fall or not. So they put it on TV box, and I think the ratio fell to 7% or something like that. So without doing any programming or coding or rearranging something critical in the service, you just get this creative out-of-the-box idea, and you can really reshape and also put the service to completely new level. So that's what was done with the Van Moof. And also, now maybe somebody asks, I'm also already doing a lot of thinking, like business analysis and problem solving, and there are dozens of methodologies. So what is the difference of design thinking and traditional thinking? So with the traditional thinking, when I was working in IT company, it was a lot of focus on finding out the root cause of the problem. What is the problem? Why? You go deeper. And then what is the problem? Why? And you go even deeper. And you're a lot of stuck in this problem-based problem-solving method, actually. But when you look at design thinking, then actually it's solution-based problem-solving method. You have a problem, and then you start immediately brainstorming the solutions. So you don't get even into this why cycle of getting to the root cause of the problem. So that's the biggest difference. With here, you have a challenge. You find the root cause for the problem, you limit choices, and then you find the solution. In here, you have a challenge, you brainstorm solutions, and sometimes with the brainstorming, even better problem actually comes out. So we will start with one problem, and actually, during the brainstorming, you will arrive to even better problems, correct? So, and this kind of methodology behind the design thinking is something which is called double diamond philosophy or method. It's already well known long time ago, but the main 4 stages of design thinking is like discovering, defining, developing, and delivering. And this is a time frame which is going to left to right. So in here, you have some kind of the problem. For example, our costs for customer service are too big. Our like internal users, like employee experience of the internal users is not sufficient. Our service staff spends too much time jumping from one software to another when servicing the customer or something like that. So you have different problems. Our product doesn't sell well. Our product onboarding in the e-channels is not sufficient or something like that. So many problems can be in the beginning. But with the design thinking, it always starts with empathy, with observation of the users. So you can really try to not guess what the users really, what are their pains, but you really go stand side by side and observe, and really observe how they are using current solution, and is there any possibilities for the improvement. So this is about the observing part. And also really important thing is about the interviewing part. So with the interviews, you can really get, in addition to observing, you will get really good insights to the problem. So this problem may have many this kind of shapes, and different people understand problem differently. And that's why this discovering step is really important. Now moving to defining. So defining part is creative solutions brainstorming, and this is done usually via workshops. So you got the grasp of the problem, and you immediately try to brainstorm with the team with possible solutions. So this is the way to do in the design thinking. And in here also additional like methodologies like customer journey mapping can be used, or value proposition design, or different other tools can accompany, but the general idea is to jump from the problem immediately to the brainstorming in a defined phase of this double diamond. So this is left diamond, so to the right diamond. And when you have had this first problem initially, which was stated, and you have done observing and brainstorming, then usually what happens here, that you will come to even better problem definition, or you started with some kind of problem which has smaller impact, and maybe during the brainstorming you arrive to a bigger problem. And with my workshops over the years with doing different brainstormings or journey maps or value proposition, it usually happens that you will arrive to a better problem than initially it was stated. So that's a really good thing about design thinking, correct? Yes. So a next step is when you have actually had a better problem to work on, then will be another brainstorming. And this is more about like technical solutions, how can we execute it, how we will communicate it, different things. And of course, it's really important to do like rapid prototyping of the service. So even this service maybe doesn't have all the functionalities and possibilities yet, you can still put it to live and test on the users. Will they buy it? To put some kind of paywall with the PayPal or some bank links with the Maksekeskus or something like that. Will they buy my product? You can really quickly prototype this. Or you will do some kind of app prototypes or some self-service portal prototypes. Can do different things. And this is really prototyping, not using so much coding, more like prototyping software. And the last step is delivery. So delivering part, it's, you have done the design, you hand it over to customer, use it, job done. But sometimes service design requires also helping customers to explain to their internal users and people for the employee experience that why this is needed and how this will change current activities to better one. So this is really change management support and training, etc. And just to give an example, what I did with the delivery part, but that I had one like national project going on with one of the local authorities, and then I was present at the training workshop. And I said in the beginning of the workshop, I will observe your this kind of usage habits, and also I will take note when I was there, then I explained why we are doing this and helping even the trainer to deliver this new service internally so the employees can benefit out of it for the best way. And at the same time, when they were learning, I was sitting side by side and I was seeing how they are using. And it came out that a lot of elderly users were, and we designed software with 100% this kind of Google Chrome browser side. But 1/3 of the users actually turned immediately this design to 130 and 145% of the Zoom. And then we were like, luckily it was responsive design and luckily it worked. But I have seen projects where it hasn't been really thought well, and you will have immediately this kind of really good insights when you are helping and observing this delivery part. So to summarize, firstly, design thinking, discovery phase, so get to know the needs of the target groups, observe, and call all kind of hints to the problem. So that is this first part. So describing phase, defining the problem, and question when you are doing the brainstorming is really easy. How might we do that? You know, this is only one click. How might we do that with the employee experience internally, our customer service can reply to customers within 1 working day or within 1 hour. How might we do that? So that kind of questions you ask in the brainstorming. Then during the describing phase, when you're doing the brainstorming, you will come to the better problem with which to proceed. And with the brainstorming solutions, you will have also focus with this better problem to which to move forward. So some quick course for brainstorming. Have you had some brainstorming courses recently? Yeah, some had, yeah. Okay, so how the hell I'm going to do brainstorming? So it's basically really good brainstormings last around half an hour, and usually the people to get to the brainstorming are usually like 5 to 8 people is enough. More, a little bit less manageable. So 5 people for half an hour, 8 people for 45 minutes, and you can do really good brainstorming. So usually problem is defined what needs to be solved. Each one writes on the post-its independently their ideas without discussing, without disturbing, without watching neighbors' activities. So you will find just post-it by post-it solutions. Then these solutions, when the clock and timer is finished, they are presented by 2 minutes. Each one gets 2 minutes, one by one, presented to the team. And team listens and maybe asks some additional, this kind of detailed questions. So, and when you have listened to other people's ideas, then you have another 5 minutes to build on their ideas or to brainstorm additionally your ideas or throw away something which you did not like initially from the initial brainstorming. And then solutions are presented to the team, and and then the voting is done. So you can put post-its on the wall, you can have this kind of dot stickers available, and you can glue with the dot stickers like vote which ideas are the best. That's called like silent voting. No charismatic presenters, no extroverts. It's like all groups, like people who don't want to present so much, everybody gets the opportunity to get the idea on the wall. And this can be done in 30 minutes or less. Can I take my questions after the presentation?
Well,
yeah.
It would be a better experience if I do my question.
Yeah.
So how, like having a silent kind of brainstorm, be a brainstorm, it should be interactive, it should be people getting feedback and people criticizing and people...
So they are here presenting.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Like
and then
interruption, but they should be interruption. They should be saying like, hey, you like your idea, it's not...
Usually then it's a discussion. Then I won't call it a brainstorming. I said, let's sit down and discuss. Okay. And just discuss, yeah. When you brainstorm, you have time limit, focus, what you want to achieve, certain steps you have to do, and then you're done, yeah. But I will take your questions after my presentations, then we can answer all, because a lot of stuff I'm going to talk will happen on next slides of the training. So, moving to step 3 with the developing part. So, with the develop part, it's really important to brainstorm technical solutions and generate ideas how we can solve this technically, or even like Also, marketing strategy can be technical solution. And find possible solutions, make a wireframe, and prototype it immediately and test on the end users. So the earlier you will get the feedback from the users that they don't understand your product at all, or you are trying to sell, or how you are trying to improve their lives with your service, the earlier you understand it, the successful and easier for the future it is. And the main message is here, fail fast. So the earlier you understand that this is not a good solution, you can just reshape and make another solution, correct? And delivery part, so it's all about when you have done all these steps before with this observing user needs, brainstorming, building a prototype, testing on end users, so you collect the feedback and see which solutions keep working. And it's really important to support the change management at the customers. So what these good designers who are working on the service design, using design thinking, they help customers also to improve employee experience internally later. So to summarize this kind of introduction to design thinking, I would like to just visualize something which is called like house of customer experience when I'm like stating it. So design thinking as a philosophy, it's not a really methodology, it's a philosophy, it's a foundation to this design thinking. The ultimate target is customer experience, yeah? So you want to really have this, not this yes and no stuff for the experience design, but more this like wow stuff. So you are aiming for the customer experience. And you can do it via service design, which is called also business analysis, which is called also product marketing activities. It can have different names. But usually part of these things nowadays is user experience design, and inside there is user interface design. And I will later on explain what is the difference between them, because people usually mess up with the UA and UX stuff. So you will hear more about that.